everyone, my name is Briz and I am the Outreach Logistics Coordinator here at the Children's Museum Houston. Thank you so much for joining me today for story time, and I also want to thank the Brown Foundation for sponsoring this video. The book I'm reading today is called Moonday by Adam Rex with permission from Chronicle Books. So this book is about a little girl. She finds out what happens when the moon won't go away and it's always nighttime because it's actually in her backyard. So let's find out how she can fix this problem. Let's get started. Moonday by Adam Rex. The moon hung full and low and touched the tips of trees. We whispered words like big and beautiful. Through the backseat window, I followed its flight, past the dark, sleeping park and the bright empty streets. Then I drifted to sleep and was lifted to bed. The next morning, the moon was lower and larger and very nearly on the ground. It was in our backyard. I asked, "Why is it so large and low? Why is it in our backyard?" "Huh," said Dad and rubbed his chin. "Pick me up, please." From Dad's shoulders, I brushed the moon with my fingertips. It was chalky and cold. I climbed into a crater. "I'm gonna have a look around." Mom said, "Okay, zip up your coat." I walked over and under and around to where Mom and Dad waited. "What now?" Morning had missed us. In darkness, the town awoke and went to work. At school, we slumped in desk and slept through lunch. I looked through my heavy lashes, through the window, through lean trees to see my blue moon staring back at me. In science, Miss Ellen wrote, "The moon has gravity that makes the tides turn." In English, she wrote, "Moon is a noun and sometimes a verb." In math, she wrote, 1 + 1 = moon. Then she blinked and stepped back from the board. That's not right," she said. "I'm sleepy. Class dismissed." As I watched the weary town folk. Hushed, they shuffled through the slush and dozed off at stoplights. The band on Bleecker Street could only sigh into the microphone. "Lullaboo, I love you. Shashaloo, la 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 boo." Then I started to yawn. That swayed up the block, crossed 2 policemen, rounded the square, and followed me home. In my backyard, Mom and Dad tried to hide the moon under the blankets and tablecloths. "Hot air balloon?" yawned our neighbor as he leaned over the fence. "Yes, I guess," my mom said. "It's the latest fad," said Dad. That was when the tide came in. It trickled into our backyard. The tide came in smooth and thin and settled underneath our moon. "Big," I said, "and beautiful." "Wet," said Dad. "It doesn't belong in our backyard," said Mom, "and I could do without the dogs." I said, "Maybe we could take it for a drive." So we drove with the moon in our window that night, through the big, bright, empty streets, past the dark, sleeping park. It followed our flight to the top of the hill where it lit up on the tips of the trees. And then I told the moon, "Stay." I told the moon, "Stay," as we rumbled away. And it stayed in the sky at the top of the hill and looked smaller and higher the lower we drove. "There it goes," I said. "There goes the moon," said Dad. "There goes a good tablecloth," said Mom. In the purring car, I fell asleep. Dad carried me to bed and said goodnight. In other towns and neighbors' beds, they said goodnight. turned off the lights, and it was good night everywhere. The end. Thanks again for joining me for story time, and again, thanks to the Brown Foundation for sponsoring this video. Have a good day.